John?
With all the dysfunction we see in Albany, and people talk about in Albany, there's been calls on both sides of the political spectrum for a constitutional convention to change the way Albany works. What do you feel about that? Is the situation that dire that we need a constitutional convention to solve it?
And this is,
Do I go first? Oh, okay. I know that the Republican Minority Conference is in favor of having a constitutional convention. I know that some of the issues that would be resolved in a constitutional convention would be a constitutional spending cap, term limits, making some budgetary reforms that would have to be voted on by the public as well. And I think that a constitutional convention would be a very good idea as long as the delegates were voted upon to the convention were voted upon by the people. I would be very leery of having a constitutional convention at a time where there's a supermajority in both New York and the federal government. So I would really want to make sure that the delegates to the convention were chosen and distributed in the convention very proportionately and was a fair representation of all of the citizens of the state of New York, not just one political party or group of people with ideas that don't comport with the rest of the majority. So that's how I feel about a constitutional convention. Also, I think that term limits can be set by the voters this November. We can throw these people out. We don't need a constitutional convention to set term limits for them. The voters can throw them out themselves without any convention. Go to the polls, move them out. Show them the door. Thank you.
thank you. Jim?
John, to answer your question, I am in support of a New York State constitutional convention. I think the very definition of, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. And it seems like that's what we're doing in New York State. We elect incumbents over and over and over again, and we expect a different result. And instead what we have this year is the embarrassing spectacle of the budget being about 4 months, almost nearly 4 months late now. April, May, June, July, yeah, 4 months late. And no idea really if it's going to be passed. I know Sheldon Silver, I heard on the radio today, expecting that it's going to be passed in the next few days. Well, I've heard that before. I think a constitutional convention is something that is necessary at this point in time. There's certain things that we need to incorporate into New York State government that we're not doing right now. I'm proud to be the first candidate for the 109th Assembly District that signed the 3 pledges of New York Uprising. New York Uprising is a nonpartisan group founded by, among others, former Mayor of New York City, Ed Koch. It's got 3 principles that they espouse there. One is nonpartisan, independent redistricting, real ethics reform, and also adopting generally accepted accounting principles in New York State government. Those are real reforms that we need here in New York State. Nonpartisan independent redistricting will allow a situation where we actually have real competitive races in New York State as opposed to gerrymandered districts that discourage other people from running. Real accounting reforms are something that I think is imperative in New York State. If you want to be a business in New York State, you need to follow these generally accepted accounting principles. Yet the state of New York does not follow these. And I think these are issues certainly that can be brought up in a constitutional convention. It's unfortunate that it's come to that point. Unfortunately, the legislature has failed in their job, and we need a constitutional convention to do